Hello team and welcome back to the channel. So before starting the video, small request, please subscribe to the channel. We upload videos on daily basis related to DevOps tools and technologies. Also, I am doing a new DevOps series these days, which is 30 days of DevOps, where I will be covering like most important DevOps tools and technology which you can use to write your own fully fledged pipelines. Okay, those pipelines will be containing stages like compiling the source code, scanning the source code using security tools to find out vulnerabilities, then scanning the packaged application or like artifact in the form like jar file, war file. Okay, then also we'll be creating Docker images, then we will scan the Docker images for issues, then we will be using those Docker images and YAML files to deploy the application on different servers like Tomcat server. Then we will deploy using Docker container, then we will be deploying using Kubernetes. Okay, also the best part, like we will be using best of the best applications that is available for free over GitHub. So if you have not yet followed me on GitHub, you can go there and follow, because these are some of the like very interesting applications which I have on my repository, and these are like I have tested these applications. These are ready to deploy applications. Okay, so if you want to practice, if you want to do POCs, if you want to add projects in your resume, you can follow me on GitHub and like get these applications for free. All sorts of application I have, like Java based I have, then Node.js based, then even Python based applications I am having. Okay, so everything, stages and everything is there. You can just follow and get the projects and like start doing your own POC. Okay, now coming to today's topic. So shout out to Swam for suggesting this video. So I wanted to make this video from quite some time, and today was the correct time, I guess, where I wanted to explain you how much packages is being offered, exactly like average package. What is the average package that is being offered to freshers, then 1 to 2 years experienced people, then 2 to 3 years experienced people in DevOps profile. Okay, so in this video what we will discuss the packages offered by MNC companies, then product based companies, then what are the skills you should go for in case of DevOps profile, then what are the certifications you should definitely have if you are working in DevOps, if you are working as a DevOps engineer, and in what ways you should go for upskilling. Upskilling is basically what are the new tools and technologies that you should try to add in your resume and skills. Okay, so everything I will show you from like very clearly, and if you are having any questions or queries, you can either comment in the comment section, or you can join my Telegram channel, whose link will be in the description. The Telegram channel is completely open to all. Everyone can comment there, and whatever issues they are having, they can discuss there. Okay, so let's start with fresher. Okay, so usually as of now, like the top MNCs like TCS, Infosys, Wipro and all those, they are basically offering package to a fresher as 3 to 4 lakh package. Okay, and a product based company, normal product based company, I'm not talking about like Google or something else, but normal product based companies that focuses on specifically one product or two products, those companies are offering to freshers as 5 to 6 lakh package. But the criteria for like getting a job in these companies is little bit different. MNCs usually get like a bulk amount of students from colleges, from campus placement. Product based also goes through campus placement, but in product based you can basically like apply outside also. Okay, depending on your what skill sets you are having. Okay, so this is the basic package, what like average package what MNC and product based companies are offering for freshers. Okay, now for going to DevOps profile, what are the skill sets you should be having as a fresher? Okay, so first of all you should know what is DevOps, what is the process of DevOps, how it is being used in a project to build and deploy, how you can follow best practices. Okay, and then you should know CI/CD flow. Then different, you know that in DevOps there are tons of tools and technologies. Okay, and the best way to learn DevOps is like go through these tools and get a hands-on experience of those tools. Okay, so you should be having a good knowledge on good hands-on knowledge on different DevOps tools. Okay, like we have Jenkins, then GitLab, Sonar, Nexus, Grafana, much more. Okay, and also if you want to have like a good package, then you should also be having basic cloud DevOps like knowledge. Okay, because at this point when even I was giving interviews, almost like I while switching I gave like 8 to 9 interviews, and out of that in 6 interviews everywhere it was like requirement that you should be having at least basic knowledge in cloud DevOps. Okay, so if from the beginning only if you are having small experience or little experience in cloud DevOps, then it is going to be really beneficial for you when you switch. Okay, And as you know, like I'm running a series 30 days of DevOps where I'm covering not only general DevOps complete fully fledged pipelines, but also same thing through cloud DevOps. Okay, so I'm using Azure for that, so you can follow that video, series of video which will help you. Okay, so these are the skills that you should be having when if you are a fresher and you want to get a job as a DevOps engineer profile. Okay, then coming to certification. So as a fresher, like 2 of the certification you could do either one of them. Okay, if these are like basically fundamentals of the cloud. Okay, so if you are interested in Azure, you should definitely go for AZ900, which is the fundamental of like Azure cloud platform. If you are interested in AWS, then you should go for AWS cloud practitioner. Okay, so this will help you like get a good point in your resume that you have completed this certification. As I mentioned, like at this point, almost all the companies, be it MNC or be it product based, they are either migrating to cloud or going to migrate to cloud in future. Okay, so either way, you should definitely go for learning cloud DevOps as well. Okay, which I am also even teaching. Okay, now coming to upskilling. Okay, so as a fresher, like I know like it's not so easy to learn complete DevOps in very less time, but once you learn slowly, you should always focus on like how to write a fully fledged pipelines, because in interviews, when you say that I have worked as a DevOps engineer, I have like skills of DevOps engineer, first thing they will ask you, have you written a pipeline, and if you have, what are the stages in your pipeline? Okay, to explain to them like multiple stages of the pipeline, you should be able to know what exactly are the stages and how to write those stages, because sometimes they make you write the pipeline. Okay, then you should be knowing deployment to servers. When I say deployment to servers, deployment can happen to multiple places depending on the requirement. For example, a basic Java application can be deployed to Tomcat web server, which is a very easy one. Okay, next, if you want, we can deploy the like full-fledged applications using a Docker container, but it is very hard to manage completely when deployed through Docker container. So to manage those things, we go a step ahead and we try to deploy applications on bigger clusters like Kubernetes or OpenShift. Difference between Kubernetes and OpenShift, main difference which I feel is that Kubernetes is completely open source free. Okay, but whereas OpenShift, it is basically coming from Red Hat and it's a paid service which with like multiple features included. Okay, so that you can go for like also like not only this, but you can even learn the deployment to web app service, which is cloud based thing. Okay, and also like Azure Kubernetes service or like Elastic Kubernetes service. Okay, these are like cloud servers where you can deploy your applications. Then you should see, then we have the most important topic, which is scripting. So scripting, if you know already, like it's kind of little hard to master, but if you are practicing every day scripting also, then you will definitely going to master. Okay, so in case if you are wondering scripting, like which language you should start scripting from, so 2 languages which I feel like are very good. One is like shell script, then we have Python scripting. Okay, so whichever you feel comfortable in, you can start with that. Okay, so this was for freshers. Okay, now coming to 1 or 2 years experience. So this is the case when you joined a company as a fresher, but after 1 or 2 years you have not switched. Okay, and from as per my suggestions, I'm really telling you, if you are joining a company, if you are learning, having good learning opportunities, then at least stay there for 2 years. The reason I say so, because if you switch after just 1 year, the interview wherever you are giving, they will first thing they will consider that, okay, this guy does not stay at one company, so they won't consider you always a good candidate. Okay, also like if you, as I'm saying, if you have joined a company as a fresher, then you should definitely like at least 1 to 2 years you should stay there to learn more and more. Okay, now this is the case, this thing you are saying 1 to 2 years experience. So this is the case when you have stayed in the same company without switching for 2 years, 1 to 2 years. Okay, so as I mentioned, previous package like for freshers is 3 to 4 in MNC, 5 to 6 in product based companies. Okay, so if you stayed in the same MNC from fresher till 2 years, then maximum hike you will be getting from like 1 to 2 years. In 1 to 2 years you'll be like maximum you will get is 5, and I'm considering quite like the top level MNC companies. Okay, so this much you will get if you stay in the same company for 2 years. And my suggestion is, yes, even though package is less, but learning opportunity is good, and you will learn. Basically, it's not just that technology you will learn, you will learn the corporate culture also, and which is very much important when you are like switching or going to work in corporate world. Okay, so if you have joined a product based company on 5 to 6 lakh package, and if you have stayed there for 1 to 2 years, then maximum hike you can get is like 7 to 7.5. Okay, which is like okay for 2 years experience. Is okay package. Also, like if you are thinking how much in hand you will be getting, so freshers for 3 to 4 lakh package, if you are having in hand, you will be getting less than 30 or less than 30, but not more than 30. Okay, and if you are getting in product base, if you are having 5 to 6, then you will be getting somewhere between like 40 to 45, somewhere between that. Okay, in hand. Okay, so for 1 to 2 years experienced, if maximum package, let's say if you are having an MNC as 5, you'll be getting somewhere around like 30 to 35, somewhere in between that. Okay, and in product base, you'll be, if you are having package of 7 to 7.5, you'll be getting in hand around like 50 to 55, between somewhere between that. Okay, so after 1 to 2 years of experience, you should be having similar skills which you had as a fresher, but as I mentioned, like some new skills, upskilling were done while you were working as a fresher, these things. Okay, so these things should also be added here. Okay, but when it comes to what skills you should learn when you are 2 years experience, then first of all, like tools architecture, like Docker, Kubernetes, these tools architecture, you should understand how they are working and how they, what are their architecture. Okay, then you should understand about infrastructures where applications are getting deployed, like how infrastructure is managed, the networking aspect, the storage aspect, then like those kind of aspect you should be knowing. Okay, or you should focus on learning, basically that's what I'm trying to say. Then another upskilling thing that you should try mastering is provisioning infrastructure, which is not very easy task, but you should focus on that so that you can like learn a lot of things, and you can basically master provisioning or creating an infrastructure for deployment, and like so those things. Okay, then coming to certification, when we talk about certification, after 2 years experience, see in previous 1 year experience, you already done the certification of fundamentals, which is Azure AZ900 and AWS Cloud Practitioner. Okay, so in case of experienced person, you should go for AZ104, which is for the like administrator associate. Okay, it's like an admin sort of thing, but it's not so easy. You need to study a lot to qualify the exam. And for AWS, you can go for AWS Solutions Architect Associate. Okay, so this is for 1 to 2 years experience. Okay, so let's say like till 1 to 2 years you have in the same company, and let's say let's consider this scenario where like you are having you stayed till 3 years in the same company. Okay, so which is not so bad, but my suggestion is, as per my suggestions, if see in MNCs or in product based companies, there are some certain situations where they will retain you, they will give you certain amount of increase, hike, a good hike, and they will retain you. Okay, so depending on the work environment and depending on if there is not too much workload, if everything is fine, then you can stay for 1 more year till 3 years in the same company, that is fine. If you are getting a good hike, okay, retention bonus and all those things, if you are getting, you can stay. In case you are not getting and work environment is not so good, then you should definitely try to switch. Okay, so let's consider the scenario where you are till 3 years experience, you are in the same company. Okay, so how much hike you will be getting? So let's say like in previous like after 2 years you were till, let's consider you were on 4.9, let's say 4.9. Okay, so maximum that you will be going in the after 1 year in MNC companies, it's like maximum you can go, it's 5.5 in 3 years. That's I know like that's not too much high, but that's what it's average value. Okay, and product based companies you can get like okay hike, and you can reach somewhere between 7.5 to 8.5. Okay, depends on like, see, not every company will give you this much, but obviously in product based they give better as compared to like MNC. Okay, now considering the skills after 2 to 3 years experience, you should be having the previous skills, but you should be having like you should be mastered in writing fully fledged pipelines. Okay, and you should be knowing writing proper pipelines in cloud DevOps platform also. Okay, and you should be very familiar with using different cloud services, like if you are using Azure, then you should be very familiar with Azure Functions, then Azure Logic App, then Databricks. Databricks not so sure because that's a data engineer part of thing. Okay, but still like AKS, okay, then web app, then those kind of things you should be very familiar. Several services, okay. You should be very familiar with using the VMs, creating, provisioning the VM, and using that, through Terraform also, like creating VMs, okay. Okay, so after 3 years experience, you should go for, if you are in Azure, you should go for AZ 400, which is the DevOps engineer expert level, and which is very good for you, okay. Because after 3 years experience, if you are switching now, in your resume, if you have written, I have completed AZ 400 exam, it's really good. If you are in AWS, you can go for AWS DevOps Engineer Professional. That is going to bring a lot of good things on your profile, okay. Okay, so this is the scenario where you have not switched and stayed in this company for 2 to 3 years, okay. Now coming, let's say like you are going to switch after 2 years and 3 years, okay. Okay, so in MNC, if you are switching after 2 years, let's say after 2 years your package was 4.5 or 4.9, okay. Then basically, see, what matters for the switch is most important thing is the previous package, because after switching the company or after giving interviews, they see a lot of things. One of the main thing that they see is what was your previous package, okay. Based on that, they will give you next package. So let's say like you are having 4.5 after 2 years experience in your like MNC company, okay. So basically what we can do, you can go for asking the hike percentage that you should go for is the maximum hike you should ask is from like 90% to 150%. But if you are getting 100% hike, that is also fine, okay. So MNC will give you around like, if you are a good negotiator, they will give you 100 to 150% hike, okay, in MNC. That is after 2 years experience. So if you are getting like, let's say 4.5, you can get like, you can reach till 9 or 10, okay. In product base, same thing, like based on your negotiation skills, you can reach out to 10 to 12 years, 10 to 12 LPA. That is the maximum case I'm talking, like that is the max you can get, okay. Again, skills will be little bit different. You'll be like getting proficient, you'll be becoming proficient with network management and other resources, okay. Then coming to certification, so after 3 years experience, if you have completed your 3 years experience, then you should start studying for architect level exams for both Azure or AWS, whichever you are interested in. In both the cases, like you can try to study for architect level exam, infrastructure provisioning and those level of architect, okay, designing the infrastructure, those kind of things, okay. Okay, if you are having 3 years of experience, and if you are in MNC and then you are switching, then you would be able to get 10 to 13 lakh package, because the thing is MNCs not always give too much money, okay. Because they know that previous package would be like 5 to 6 like that, and they will give you maximum, if your negotiation good, then they will give you maximum 10 to 12 or 13 max, okay. That also, like in that they will add some like this will be your variable amount, like that, okay. Okay, then if you are switching from product base, like after 3 years, you can get like 13 to 17, okay. So one of my friend who was recently in TCS, he switched and his current package is 15 LPA, okay. He is in a product based company, which is basically a company of bicycles, really interesting bicycles, okay. So he's getting like that, okay. Then we have skill sets. So as I mentioned, like all the like proper pipelines you should be knowing to how to write, proper network management, infrastructure provisioning, those kind of things you should be like knowing, okay. Certification, as I mentioned, architect level exam is really good, okay. So these are the things that you should focus, and these are like these data that I have collected. I collected basically through like on internet, whatever data is available, then from my experience, then from my friends' experience who are working in the same profile on DevOps engineers, okay. And that's it. Also, like in case you need this Excel sheet, you just let me know, I will share it, okay. Also, if you have any queries, you can join my Telegram group, post your questions there, we will try to answer, okay. So I hope this video was useful for you. If it was, then give it a like. If you are new on the channel, make sure to subscribe. So that's all for today, and thanks for watching.